folks. I thought I'd just give you a little update on the garden. Not a whole lot to talk about. It's really not impressive at all. Actually, slightly depressing. But I've been, I can't remember the last update that I did, but I've been, every time I pull something out, trying to replace it with corn. But I think I've just about burnt it out, because this corn here is, I want to say, 4 or 5 weeks old. And it's just, pretty short. It's not growing real quick. Not nearly as aggressive as the first 2 rounds did. So I really need to see about putting down some more compost or putting some fertilizer on here. And of course you can see it's all blowed over and knocked over because I have yet to grow a single stand of corn that will stand upright. I actually just got done going through, and you can see over there I've been hilling that stuff up, trying to get it to stand up straight. I'm hoping if it'll stand up straight long enough, then it'll start to grow straight. But something I did want to show you is these ridiculous sweet potatoes. I actually am in the process right now of going through and cutting them out, pruning them out, just to cull them back some, because they're taking over absolutely everything. I do got my banana pepper here. It's putting on pretty good. I've been taking 5 or 6 peppers off of it each week, and it's just loaded with little buds and little blooms are still opening. And I got a jalapeno plant that is somewhere, let's see, where's it at? Right down here. Yeah, here it is. Trying to fight its way through the sweet potato, and that's how you can tell just how incredible these sweet potatoes are. There's some jalapenos on it. These sweet potatoes, folks, when I first planted them, to give you a perspective of the whole bed, I planted them in a single row right there, 3 plants, and a row right there, 3 plants, and maybe right there, 3 plants, and now it's just this massive sweeping mound. So when I planted them, these jalapenos were 3 or 4 foot from the nearest sweet potato plant, and now they have just completely engulfed it. So this one here has managed to just grow fast enough to stay ahead of the sweet potato vines and keep it from shading out. There was one back behind it and it didn't keep up, so it got choked out. But I have to go through at least once a week and pull the sweet potato vines down off of this pepper cage. And here you can see this one over here is getting up on the tomato cage. We'll go ahead and pull it off. I mean, this thing is just, how long this vine is. They just don't stop. It's just unreal. I wish I had more space, because you can take these and just cut that tip off with a couple of buds and bury it. If I had more beds to plant sweet potatoes in, I'd be propagating sweet potatoes, because I love them. But as for the rest, I've got my okra stand here. It's been putting on pretty good. Just I harvest out 5 or 6 okras each week, and I'm actually too lazy to actually cook them, so I just bring them to work, put them on the table, and somebody else always takes them. Same with the peppers. My strawberries are just about zapped with the heat. I'm just hoping some of them kind of pull through, and I'm thinking maybe they'll hopefully green up a little bit this fall when it cools off again. I won't lose the whole crop, but if I do, oh well, I'll just go dig up more for my father-in-law. I've got my birdhouse gourd back there. It's going strong. It seems like it's slowed down blooming a lot, but I credit that to the heat, I guess. But you can see I got some on here. A lot of my stuff in my garden's got this little black garbage on it. I don't know what it is. You can't really see it on my thumb, but you can see it all over the fruit there. I don't know if it's a mildew or what it is, but it doesn't seem to be affecting anything that I can tell, but it's just on everything. Did have a cucumber planted in here. It didn't make it. It got fried, I guess, or choked out by the birdhouse gourd. This is a second planting of green beans. Hopefully they'll actually put on actual green beans and not be holy beans like the last ones that I planted that I thought were green beans and turned out to be holy beans. There's the remains of my pumpkin plant that got destroyed by squash bugs, so I've been doing some research trying to outthink the old squash bug, because that thing is just a horror. It destroys everything. Look at this. This is a green bean vine growing up on my tomato cage off of this green bean bush. So these things are obviously pole beans of some sort. And there's my best stand of corn right now. Well, not my best, but the best as of right now. And it's got some. This is actually 2 plantings 2 weeks apart, but they're about the same size. And it's got these little scrawny ears, hardly anything to speak of on them. I don't know if they're going to fill out or make of anything or not, but there you can see the space in between the corn. That's where the pumpkins were originally planted, and now you can just see dead vines. So they branched all the way out to the other side of the peppers over there, and they just die and grow at the same time. It's amazing that there's some of them that are even still green on the end. I didn't realize it with pumpkins, but they actually will set down little roots at a nodule, just like a sweet potato will. I never knew that. So it's actually been doing that. It's been growing out and setting down these little nodules, just enough to put down some roots and get some nourishment, because it's completely dead at the base. So any nourishment that it's getting out there at the end of the vine is coming from those roots that it's put down. But I don't think I can outrun the squash bug. I've tried, and they're catching up to me. There's just ridiculous crepe myrtle tree. I have ripped these things out 3 times already this year. 3 times. And they just keep coming back. And this stupid one won't bloom either, so it's pretty much worthless to me. The one in the front yard's blooming, at least. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is, because this one is just so aggressive with these suckers. The one out front's not nearly as aggressive, but that's fine. I just rip them all off and throw them on the compost pile. Speaking of the compost bins, I have upgraded my system. That one's almost broke down enough. It's got a lot of corn husking, though, that are pretty tight, so I need some way to accelerate it. But I built a second bin, and I've got a second barrel. And we had, here at my house, in the last week, we had a little over 3 inches of rain. Other parts of Houston, I know West Houston and Northwest Houston got anywhere from 10 inches to a foot or more. So we just got pummeled. I came home one day and I checked the rain gauge. I was so excited. Rain gauge had over 2 inches in it. I thought, oh man, my barrel underneath the gutters is going to be plumb full. I ran over here and it was right about that same level. You can see where the dark line is, about 50 or 75, 100 gallons in it. And that was it. And I looked, and my little rigged up system here, it just completely collapsed. So the gutters, through all that rain, the gutters just weren't pouring in at all. So that was kind of humbling. But we got like an inch of rain the next day and I had it fixed, so I filled it on up. But other than that, that's just the vegetable garden. You can see, my orchard's still going strong. The HOA has not made me move the trees yet. So I'm going to take it at this point. I'm getting a little more ballsy, thinking it was an empty threat. I just hope if they do decide to come back on it that they at least give me some notice and they don't just come rip them out and say you were warned. Because they never have sent me an official letter saying remove the trees. They just sent me a letter that said we noticed you planted the trees. So anyway, there's my beehives over there. I'm up to 4. The one closest to us here is really struggling. It's failed a queen at least once. They raised a new one and I think she failed again. So I'm going to check them here in a couple more days, and if I can't see any eggs or any sign of a queen, I'm just going to go ahead and recombine them with another hive, because I don't want them to get overtaken by beetles and wax moths and have a bigger mess on my hands than it's worth. I should make another bee update video. I've been playing with bees a lot lately, but I'll do that. And I got a little tomato growing in a pot there. That's one of those deals that my wife said, hey, buy this tomato from Home Depot. And then it sat on the deck for 2 months in a pot, and I didn't know what to do with it. Finally threw it in a bigger pot, and there it's going to stay, I'm sure. I pulled down the rest of my tomatoes that I had in the topsy-turvies. For some reason I told myself I wasn't going to remove that one. It's been dead ever since I took the other ones down. With a ripe tomato on for months. It finally split and gave up the ghost, so I feel horribly wasteful, but at least I didn't pay any money to waste this fruit. If I'd went and bought it at Walmart and let it rot, I'd feel bad, but since I grew it myself and it rots, I don't feel as bad. But citrus is going strong. That lime tree's got a couple on it. That lemon tree is just loaded down. That lemon tree is loaded down, which is amazing, because that's the lemon tree that we thought we were going to lose, and now it's one of the best looking ones. And we got these little tiny orange trees there in the black pot, and that one there in the black pot, and they're struggling, but they're getting by. So anyway, that's about all for now. See ya.